Good morning. Good morning. Super happy and grateful to be here today. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning into our weekly meetings. You know, I love meeting with you guys and I really love you guys for everything that you've achieved in your life. I really love you guys and I really thank you guys so much for continuing to push forward and stand strong and overcoming, because he or she that overcometh becomes an overcomer. Overcomer is just a fancy word for winner. You see now, I got a bad habit of quitting. I used to have a bad habit of quitting and still do to this day. So I always felt like others was ahead of me. I always felt like others didn't have it as bad as me. And I always felt like I had to work harder, so I always quit. So instead of me winning, I just wanted to finish. I just wanted to finish, you know? And you know what we're here to do. We're here to talk about 6IC, I Believe in Self, Kyrie Hankton, Fspm. By 6IC, I Believe in Self. Financial, spiritual, physical, mental, fitness. That's the wave. That's the trend. Let's stay wavy, you know? Let's stay on it. Let's stay on top of it. And I know I talk about goal setting and stuff like that. But instead of you thinking more about the goal, because once you reach the goals, you're going to strive for more. You see, the goals aren't going to change your life. And that's not what you're seeking. You know, it's not about you reaching the goals. It's about you being the character that is working. It's the process. So instead of you focus on trying to reach that goal, instead of you trying to think that it's a financial problem or change the number on a scale, thinking that's going to change, no, let's focus more on a system. Let's focus more on our habits. It sounds a little cluttery right now, but we're going to dive deep into it. Again, I want to thank you guys so much for joining in with us. So let's hop right into it. We got F, S, P, M. Financial, spiritual, physical, mental, fitness. We got financial, spiritual, physical, mental, fitness. And these are now you don't have to do them in order, but you should have them in order. And today we're going to go right across the board. We're going to go right across the board with this, guys, because it is dire for you to literally sit back and think about where do you want to be, who do you want to be, and how are you going to get there. Last couple weeks ago, we broke the diagram. So we're going to do that illustration again as well towards the end of this presentation. And I want you guys to put in the comment section, I want you guys to comment right now, please, express some of the obstacles that you overcame this week, this month, this year. What are some of the habits that you threw away? Express that so others can feel comfortable expressing it, okay? Because we all feel like we're alone. You know, don't be afraid of you saying that, hey, I beat this, or I am going to beat it. So, financial, fitness. The handwriting is horrible. It is, but hey, it'll grow over time. Financial fitness. Why is financial fitness important in everyday life? You see, it's not about you having to have $1 million or make more money. It's just that you have to reallocate your spending habits so that way you can be financially prepared for whatever comes up. Vacation, new shoes drop, new Call of Duty maps, battle pass, emergency funds, car broken into, etc., etc. Something with the kids, anything. You know, so I don't want you to focus on building your bank account. You need to focus more on bettering your spending habits. You know what I'm saying? I need you to focus on bettering your spending habits, because you can have $1 million with the same spending habits you have now, and you'll be in more debt than ever. It's all about the process. It's not about reaching a goal. It's not about reaching $1 million. Because once you reach the million, then you want, like I told you from before, you're gonna realize, hey, I could have did more. And you can do more, you can do more, you can do more. The sky is the limit. Everything here on earth is very possible. You have to understand that once you get here, you're gonna realize that you can get there, and once you get there, you have to realize that it's these right here, the in-betweens, that's making you that's who you love. It's the struggle, it's the discipline, it's the character behind financial fitness. It's the character behind financial fitness. It's the ways how you found out how to make money. It's the research and development. Research and development. Once you start to implement that, then you start to realize, like, hey, okay, money is a currency, right? It's a current. It's a wave. It's a wave. It's a current. You don't want to chase the current. You want to get in front of the wave, and let the currency come to you. You have to stay ahead and on top of things. Because as long as you keep trying to chase, the wave is just going away from you. And then once you do catch up to the wave, we already just siphoned up most of that. Now we're in front of 3 waves, 2 or 3 months down the line from now. Money is a currency. It is a current, it has a flow. You need to get in front of the waves so the waves can crash into you. Once the waves crash into you, then you will continue to recycle that process. Do not overthink these things. Think about it, but do not overthink them. Understand that once you do get in front of that wave, then you're going to have new challenges of staying in front of the wave, and at one point you're not even going to care about the money no more because you already got it. Now you're just trying to show other people how to do it, because that's what it revolves around: character, research and development that you can share with others, education. Education is huge in financial fitness, because most people, they make $100,000 a year, right? Well, that's because they're not aware on how to make $100,000 a month. You see, this program was already here. I just wasn't aware of how to start the program. You see, the cell phones, this whiteboard was already here. It was already here. The cell phone was already here. We just were not aware of how to get the cell phone created. Teleportation, terraforming, it's already here. As just on we're here with cell phones. Teleportation is just up here. There's no such thing as time. Everything is already beginning and ending. Remember, there is no more amount of energy from the beginning of time or less amount of energy from the beginning of time till there is until the end of time. Remember, Yah is, the Most High is. He already worked out everything for you. Okay? Energy already worked out everything for you. Everything is already moving. Everything is already moving. I am so happy and grateful now that the world will continue to spin with or without me. Terraforming is already here. We're just not aware of how to terraform. But once we become aware of how to do it, then we're just going to do it. It's black and white. It's not rocket science, okay? Now, financial fitness. You make $100,000 a year. You're just not simply aware on how to make $100,000 a month, because once you start to learn how to make $100,000 a month, you're never gonna go for $100,000 a year. Once we figure out how to put our cell phones into contact lenses or even holographic bracelets or something like that, we'll never go back to the cell phones. because we became aware on how to make this technology smaller, faster, and more convenient and efficient. So we can become more efficient. Once we get on this frequency, we don't go back to that frequency because we fell in love at that point. But what we do, and that's the subconscious mind. Remember, financial fitness is key to life. You have to have education and you have to know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Because once you get there, here's obsolete. Now you're trying to go outer space. And it's not like you're falling in love with these goals, because once you reach a goal, remember, hard times create strong men. Hard times create strong men create good times create weak men. Because when you reach that goal, you sit back and you kick your feet up like, all right, I reached that goal. And next thing you know, 1 month goes down the line, you're not keeping up with those same habits that got you there in the first place. 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, now you're looking like, holy crap, I'm back in debt. You see what I'm saying? It's not the goals that you fall in love with. It's the character that you created to get you to these steps. Understand that it is a current. So we want to get in front of that current and let it hit us. Right? It's all about the flow. It's very important. That's why financial fitness is very important, guys. You know I may be saying a lot right now, but you can contact me on a one-on-one and we can come up with things so that we can get in front of each other, whether it's virtually, digitally, or physically. We have all types of opportunity to get in front of each other and speak with each other on this deeper, because it's not something you're just going to get in one day. It's something we're going to have to repetition every single day. It's something we're going to have to repeat every single day. Now, physical fitness is important. What else is important? Spiritual fitness. Spiritual fitness. Now, remember what I said now. You don't have to do them in order, but you need to have them in order, okay? Because if you're financially fit, then you're spiritually fit, and along with the other two. If you're spiritually fit, then you'll be financially fit. Now, spiritual fitness comes with confidence. Because we do not battle with humans and other extraterrestrial beings, but spirits and principalities. It's MVM, me versus mirror. Your greatest opponent is you. Only you are going to allow yourself to seek death. And I can show you in the great book where it says that I do not know death. That is something that you've manifested with the illusion of time. So you got to be very careful that this thing right here does not exist. That's just an illusion. Because imagine if we all gave our energy into the world, that we actually get younger as we grow older. This is not real. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I don't want you to ever feel like you're behind on something, or you're not exactly where you're supposed to be, or you're not getting what you want for no reason. See, you're only going to receive what you believe that you deserve. You see what I'm saying? So what I want you to understand is that this is fake. You are exactly where you want to be because you put yourself there. So I don't want you to feel like you're behind. Now you're battling with those principalities and spirits. What's real, you're putting faith into the evil one. And evil one is telling you that you're not going to make it in time. Don't focus on that. Let's focus on the growth and development. Growth. Development. Because remember, it's not about reaching the goals, it's about the person we become while reaching the goals. Spiritual fitness all comes with the bragging rights of look how disciplined I am. However, discipline. Spiritual fitness comes with the ability to say no. Discipline and spiritual fitness goes hand in hand because they both allow you the ability to say no, because you know deep down inside, since birth, you already knew what you had to do to be to where you want to get. You know what I'm saying? You already know what you have to do to get what you want to get. The hard part is just doing it, man, especially after a hard day's work. You're like, okay, I'm trying to slow down on the game a little bit. And then, but you don't have any plans for when you get off work except for the game. So it's like when you walk into the house, that's where it gets hard. That's the hard part. Or you're like, okay, I'm trying to slow down on drinking. I'm trying to slow down on drinking. Well, you just got off a hard day's work and you're off today. You already did your daily task. You already made your videos and stuff like that. So now you're about to go to the grocery store to get you some food. You go past the liquor aisle. It's like, okay, that's the hard part. Now you have choice. And understand that the bad habits dictate your future. The good habits dictate what you do today. You have a choice every single day. And the decisions you made will determine the person you become. Decisions you make determine the person you become. You have a choice every single day. And once you make a choice, you have made a decision. And most decisions come from imagination. We're going to get to that pretty soon. It comes from will and a desire. Once you make the decision, decisions you make determine the person you become. Now, it's not about reaching a goal. It's not about reaching a goal. You're here. This is you. That's you right there. You want to be up there. Well, you have to make the choice to be there. Once you make the choice, you have to decide, is that what I really want to do? And once you decide that, then from here on out, the decisions you make determine the person you become. Do you want to go up or do you want to stay stagnant? Because once you start to reach new levels, Satan or your paradigm or you are going to come up with new excuses for you to stay on that same level. You will never downgrade. You will never downgrade. I don't care if you were with the most beautiful woman in the world, you guys end up splitting up. And so now you're with another woman, she doesn't look just as good, but she might have a different personality that you really like. You will never downgrade. You will never move backwards. You will never move backwards. This doesn't move back, does it? Even that doesn't move backwards. It's always moving forward. So just naturally, through physics and laws, you can never move backwards. You can lose a job, you can lose a career, but those are all just lessons in order for you to make millions. You know what I'm saying? You will never move backwards. Your paradigm will always have you sitting in the same spot. You have the ability to make choice. You have a mental faculty called reason. Now, once you have a reason, that's when you battle in the law of polarization. You can either stay here or you can move up. You can make a decision to say, hey, I'm going to save this check, and then I'm going to wait till next check and get a drink, or I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Then will you decide who you are going to be. And remember that we're not focusing on the goals. We're focusing on the system. We don't want make goal achieving the default. We want to make the system the default. And when I say systems, you probably think a lot of computers and government stuff like that. Well, did I not tell you that you have over 11 million kilowatts per pound in your body, you have over 11 million kilowatts of power per pound in your body. Spiritual fitness all comes with confidence, growth and development, discipline, and the ability to say no. That's the hardest thing on this whole presentation, is the ability to deny yourself. Now, just like I just told you, you don't have to do these in order, but you need to have them in order, okay? We want to have these in order. Now, what that means is physical fitness is dire when it comes to financial and spiritual fitness. And just like the next, mental fitness. Why is physical fitness so important? Well, again, it's not about, a lot of you think that you might have to change that number on the scale to feel a certain type of way. Or, for another example is, you might feel like you're depressed because you're depressed, so that's why you're overweight. Or you feel like if you were to try to make a change, or if you were to go to the gym, everybody was going to be laughing at you or looking at you some type of way or judging you. No. That's not true. When you go to the gym and we see somebody coming in there and they're bigger or whatever, or even too skinny, bigger, out of shape, we look at them like, I'm very proud of that person. Right now, the confusion that's going on right now is everybody feels like they're being judged. But right now, everybody's in their own world trying to make sure that they follow these 4 keys to life. So when you walk into that gym, best believe you probably gonna have 100 trainers coming up to you trying to get you into a program so they can get you in shape, so they can show your results to others, so others can have the confidence to do what you did. The number on the scale isn't going to change your life, because you can be 230 and come down to a $125. Well, it's not that goal. The goal is not the $125. It's the discipline and the character, that the decision that we fell in love with. Because once we get to a $125, we might want to hold that $125. And once we hold that $125, we got to stay with them same habits. We're going to have to repeat the same process that we took to get there. And once we start to do that, then our energy is just automatically going to educate others on what to do because of intuition. You don't even have to write a handbook for somebody to understand how you got to where you want to be. They're already going to know how you did it because they have the same conscious thoughts that you have. It's not about the number on the scale. And you're not depressed because you're fat. You're fat, that's why you're depressed. And it's not because work isn't paying you enough, that's why you're depressed. No, you're not working hard enough, that's why you're depressed. You cannot dictate your life on an 8-hour, 12-hour job. You still got 12 more to go. Physical fitness is very important because it teaches you that it hurts. What is it? Life. Life hurts. It's like a yo-yo effect, Up and down, stock market, up and down, Some days you might only feel like, some days you feel like $1 million. Some days you might only feel like 900,000. What we fall in love with is getting back to that $1 million. I'm trying to exaggerate how much man has fell in love with the struggle. You understand? We fell in love with the struggle. That's why we have crime. That's why we manifested crime and all of these other things. Because we love breaking and fixing things. We love accumulating problems that we can fix, because if not, we would have never put ourselves in a situation in the first place. We had the ability. And if we want world peace, we'll get it. Think about it, guys. There is a such thing as balance. Physical fitness is balance. And everybody knows balance is key and you can't get away from it. Energy out, energy in, energy out, energy in. I know guys who's 65 who feels like they're 25 and look it. I know guys who's 25 and look 40, 35 out of shape, sad, sad. And you can tell when you meet, out of shape can be skinny or big. Or you can be the right age, but what you're putting in your body is not helping your liver and your lungs and stuff like that. You see? Balance is everything. Energy out, energy in. And you can tell when you talk to certain people too, that's not doing what they're supposed to do. And and they're at such a level of anxiety and depression, and they're, you talk to them, they won't say much. They got their head down, they're not saying much. Their social life is practically non-existent. Just like if you see a great looking girl, you come up to her and she's blowing you off, she's not really saying much, and she's not really giving you a valid reason. Those are like social anxieties. Those are inferior results. Those are interferes. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to understand that I've talked to beautiful women before and got validated, and talked to ugly women and got denied. I've talked to beautiful women, got denied, and talked to ugly women and got validated. Same thing goes for boys and girls, all genders. It's all about what's the perfect girl if it's not the perfect time? What's the perfect job if it's not the perfect time? Because you can love this job, but something just happens to where you're still selling yourself short, so you can't perform at 110%, so you end up getting yourself fired somehow, some way. The energy you were putting, you can't put that on somebody else getting you fired, because the energy you put out is the energy you receive, because it probably all started up here with a thought at first. Like, I don't like that coworker because that coworker always makes me upset. See, that coworker can't do nothing to you. Only you can do to you. Remember, it's me versus the mirror. It's a lot of physical stuff that you have to understand, that your body is an instrument. This is the lowest part of our realm. This is the lowest part of you. This flesh is the lowest part of you, because physical fitness also comes with denial. Conquering the flesh. Denial equals control of the flesh. Control of the flesh. Now, once you start to get control of the flesh, then you start to control that tongue. Because no one's going to dislike you unless you put the energy out there for somebody to dislike you. And I know everybody can say you got haters, everybody got haters, but at the same time, I don't feel that. I've been on a very successful road, and I do not feel haters around me, point blank period. Because I don't think like that. That is not in my perspective. And we're about to get on to that next. But physical fitness is very important, man, because it teaches you that life hurts. And when life starts to hurt, you got to keep going, you got to keep trucking. You understand? Physical fitness is very important because it teaches balance. You understand what I'm saying? Balance is key. We want to make sure that we keep balance. Physical fitness comes with denial, which equals control of the flesh. The more control you have over the flesh, it goes back to your ability to say no. And once you have the ability to say no, then you're going to continue to do it. I asked myself, are you ready to go? No? All right, then let's get to it, because that's the perfect time to get to it. Now, here's the big one, and we're going to sit on this one for a little bit of time before we get to the diagram. Mental fitness. Mental fitness is very important. You know why? Because right now, you are living off of the 5 basic physical faculties that you have, which is what you hear, taste, touch, smell, hear, taste, touch, I'm having a brain fart. Hear, taste, touch, smell, and feel? I can't believe I'm having a brain fart right now. I'm gonna keep it going on. If not, correct me in the comments. These these are the 5 basic faculties that people are using. And what we're saying is that you can't continue to base, and you know what this means? Outside world. We can't continue to base our life around these 5 basic faculties. You see, now you have antennas on your head, sort of like hair. And that's what triggers these. And once these start to get triggered, they get put into your emotional mind. Now, your emotional mind has a different set of rules. Now, but hear, taste, touch, smell, and feel, that's the outside world. And the number one thing that's being utilized right now to control you is what you feel, which is laughter. You know, everybody wants a good laugh, whether it's from pranks, violence, like Bad Girls Club and stuff like that, drama. That is being, entertainment is being heavily used right now to control and dictate who you become. Because remember, a paradigm is habitual behavior, and everything you do dictates who you become, because the choices you make, because you have a choice, and then once you start to make a decision, that dictates who you become. Laughter. You cannot let the outside world goes on what's going on in here. Because once you start to fall in love with the outside world, then you're in deep trouble. And you quickly need to get out of it, okay? This is serious business. Now you also have, these are your physical faculties. Physical faculties. Now we're about to move over to the mental faculties. Hopefully you guys can still see. Mental faculties. That's memory, perspective. Yeah, let me write a little bit bigger. That's memory, perspective, reason, intuition, memory, perspective, reason, intuition. I can't believe I'm having brain farts and I say this stuff every single day. Isn't that intense? Memory, perspective, reason, intuition, and go will. The will. Now, memory. We're going to go over these really quickly because I really want to focus on perspective. That's going to be our main dog today, is perspective. Memory. Now, when you have a rich family, a wealthy family, because rich is mindset. Once you have a wealthy family, right, and they have children, and they start to teach their children, how life is and stuff like that. Well, it's not necessarily what they're teaching their children, although that does play a big part. Education is huge. But it is the experiences that keeps people rich or wealthy or attracted to the lifestyle or on that same frequency. For example, PPE, COVID-19, all of that money that came in. You see, now you got a lot of people that don't want to work a job because they have a memory and they had an experience of living free. For the first time ever, everybody was free at one point. Mostly everybody. Everybody was free. And so that's why it's so hard to kind of find work now, because people have a memory of what they experienced and they're not trying to go back, because remember what I said, we never move backwards. We're always looking to move forward. We literally can't move backwards. That was a huge turning point in a lot of people's life during quarantine and stuff like that. Reason. Reason is you got the good dog and the bad dog. You have a conscious mind. You have the ability to make choice. You have the ability to make choice. And once you start to respect that, then you will understand how important the decisions you make, how important the decisions you make are. You have a reason. Since the beginning of time, your time, since birth, you already knew what you had to do to get to where you want to be. It's just as when you were growing up, you started to make choices that led you more into more comfortable, everyday poverty living. You're like, oh, dopamine hits. I'll get to it later. I already know what to do. It's easy. I'm young. I still got time. Oh, I'll get to it later. I already know what to do. I'm just going to do it. It's not that hard. It's really not that hard. You've been telling yourself that since you was a kid. You just didn't do it. But then once you start to do that for 5, 10, 20 years, now you start to see that, hopefully, you start to see that your mind has been bombarded with junk, and now that's taken over your life completely to the point where you're not even consciously aware of why you do what you do. That's why it's very important to not fall in love with these 5 physical faculties, because once you do, you start to let the outside world control you. That's why we're going to focus more on our mental faculties, because reason is why you are where you are. Intuition. You ever meet somebody and you just knew they were up to no good? That's intuition. You better be glad that you have it, because some don't. Some do and they ignore it. Something how me and you used to a lot. But now we're growing and we right on top of it, right? I want you guys to put in the comment section, hey, that's crazy, because tell me a story when intuition came and got you out of a situation that you knew that was not going to be good. Understand this. You got your best friend, you and your best friend, right? And they have a sudden mood change and you feel it. That's intuition. I have this mentor, right? Coach Vernon Anderson. He said, Calvin, you're going to be a millionaire someday. Now, I don't believe that, but I believe that he believed it. Something registered in my mind for me to believe that he believed that I can be a millionaire. That's intuition. When you have that thought like, oh, the Most High doesn't put you through something you can't handle, and you know when you're in a down bad situation and you don't know how you're going to get out of it, but you know you're going to be okay, that's intuition. You know you're going to be okay because the laws of the universe says you can never move backwards. Everything's always moving forward. Things grow. That's it. Growth and development. That's it. Seedlings. It may be a little cluttery, but understand that you will start to understand this through repetition. Will, desire, fire, all the same. Will goes with choice. You have to be able to make the choice to be where you want to be, and you have to make the decision right now. And once you start to put will into that, then you start to understand that things are a little bit easier, because once you make a decision, once you get emotionally involved with the will to achieve what it is you want to achieve, well, the goals won't matter, because you just start to adapt to that person you want to become. Say that you're a runner. Say you're a runner, right? So you sign up for this marathon, you train for the marathon, you go to the marathon, you finish the marathon. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks went by, 6 months, and you look back and you're like, holy crap, I haven't even I need to sign up for another marathon because I haven't done it in so long. Well, it's not the goal, the marathon that you fell in love with. It's the process and the character that you became, the decision that you made, the will you put into your subjective mind to be who you wanted to get there. You wanted to be at the event with the other people. You see, that's called the law of vibration. Once you start to act who you want to be, once you become that person, then everything else is obsolete, because now you're in line with who you want to be. It's not necessarily the goals. It's about the character you become. It's the system. You are the system. You're the system. When I say the system is doing you dirty, it's you doing you dirty. You're the system. You're the big computer. You are the highest creation the Most High has ever made. Okay? I need you to understand that. Now, I'm about to take some of this down, and we're about to get on perspective. Because once you change the way you look at things, what you look at changes, right? I mean, literally. I never seen somebody save up money and not have money saved. I never seen somebody go to the gym and get out of shape. Perspective. Perspective and perception is everything. You're not depressed, that's why you're fat. You're fat, that's why you're depressed, and you can get upset with that. You have anxiety because you fear things that hasn't even come yet. The reason why you have that anxiety is because you know damn well you would get in your own way for achieving that character you want to become. Now, perspective all comes with honesty. You have to be honest about yourself. And you can't blame nobody else for the things that you go through, especially not the Most High, because you've been blessed with breath. Unless you're like a paraplegic or you're born in some disease. But understand that comes from the parents making decisions from way back then. You know, whatever it is. So I want you to understand, once you change the way you look at things, what you look at changes. Now understand this. Once you start to change your perspective, I promise your income will increase by 10 times. And I don't just mean income by money, I mean income from love from your children, your husband, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your friends, your circles, your meetings, your co-workers, your employees, whatever it is. See, I'm speaking to the rich, I'm speaking to the poor mindset, the rich mindset, the wealthy, the middle class, and the lower class. This applies to everybody because everybody has a balance. And once you start to understand and respect the balance, then you're going to understand that I am so happy and grateful now that the world will continue to spin with or without me. So you have to respect everybody else and what they're doing. Everything is not just about, everything is just not about goal reaching and goal setting. And I'm going to keep exaggerating that. Because once you change your perspective on the goals that you want to achieve and stuff like that, then you're going to start to respect the fact that, hey, I fell in love with a person. I'm trying to figure out how I can word this. You didn't fall in love with the goal. You fell in love with the person who reached the goal. Because remember, you're here, right? You're here. You want to be here. But once you realize you get there, you can be up here. You're here on a frequency. You're not aware of how to get there. But since birth, you already knew what you had to do to get there. Now, you don't know how you even made it this far because there are frequencies behind you. There's been multiple times in your life where you didn't know how you were going to get there. You had no idea how you were going to make it. See now, Steve Jobs or Jeff Bezos, one of the two said, hey, you would never figure it out. You could never connect the dots looking forward, but you can't connect the dots looking backwards. You knew what you had, you know what you did to get in a position that you're in now. That's science. That's literally fact. You knew exactly, you know of the exact events, the choices you made, and the decision you ran with to get you where you are now, whether that's $1 million or in debt of $1 million. You can connect those dots. Either way, you didn't know if you were going to make it or not. You don't even know if you're going to make it home tonight. But you're here. You have to believe that these dots will connect forward. You don't know how they are, but you're just going to do it. You see, now it's not you just waking up one day and having $1 million in your bank account. It's you waking up one day and making a decision to understand that I understand that it's the little steps that's going to paint the big picture. You got to start off with the body first. You have to start off with the excuse me, not body, the mind first. You have to start off with the mind. You have to start off with the mind first. And once you start off with the mind, then you're going to understand that, okay, what I do today may not show major results. I might go to the gym today and I might gain weight. I might gain weight. I might go to the gym today and gain weight. Well, you have to understand that it starts off with the mind. Once you start to understand that it starts off with the mind, you're going to start to respect real life. When you respect real life, it goes like this. Instant gratification usually has bad thoughts. Delayed gratification comes with hard work, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking for that inner hard-working person. You're going to start to respect that, okay, I know for a fact that today I won't see it. Tomorrow I won't see it. Next week I won't see it. It actually sucks because now my body is sore, man. But 6 months from now into a year, you're going to start to see a difference. I've never seen somebody save money and not have any money saved. I've never seen somebody go to the gym and get out of shape. You have to believe that you can get here. And you gotta do each frequency at a time. You're here. Forget the in-betweens. And what I mean by in-betweens is struggle. Forget the struggle, because remember, we're changing our perspective. You fall in love with the struggle because it develops who you want to be, which is a overcomer. Forget that. You want to go straight here. Boom. You want to wake up and make that decision to me, like, you know what, I am going to be who I always wanted to be. And you don't have to you have to start off on a lower scale. It don't matter, man. It don't matter. You have to start off on a lower scale. And then you have to work your way up. That's literally the physics. That's real life, man. That's real life. Energy out, energy in. Energy out, energy in. The universe has no choice but to give you the energy that you asked for. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to understand that energy out is energy in. What you put out, the universe has no choice but to give. So please respect the fact that it is very important for you to be very aware of the decisions that you make. And this goes for everybody. That's why perspective is huge, because you don't want to have a perception of the world is going against you. The world has nothing to do with you. The world is just a manifestation that you created before you even got here. Yah already gave us the trees, the oxygen. He gave us the green light to go. You have every single thing that you need to get here. But if you continue to live off of those 5 physical faculties and let the outside world control what's going in, then you're never going to alter your perspective. And if you keep thinking down, then you're going to be down. Because the instrument, the flesh, has no choice but to abide by what's going on in the subconscious mind. Now, one more time. We have goals. Once you start to reach those goals, you start to realize, hey, I can get right here. You got a Dodge Charger, now you want the Hellcat. Once you get the Hellcat, now you want the foreign. Or whatever, however it goes, please excuse me. You're always going to want more. These aren't the things that we fall in love with. The things we fall in love with is the progress that we make, because it's the progress that's getting us to where we want to be. It's the character that's reaching the goals that we love. Because the goals won't be able to be reached without the character. I'm about to draw a diagram for you guys because I want to show you guys how to slowly start to work towards this. Now, say you have a jar, right? And we cut up 100 tabs into it. On 90 of the tabs, we put, keep working hard, I'm very proud of you. Keep working hard, I'm very proud of you. We got 90 tabs in there. 10 tabs, we got, hey, go out, get you some, get a drink, have you some fun, go get you some females, go hang out with your side boo, whatever it may be. You do some lines, whatever it may be. Whatever it is that you like to have fun with, they're probably bad habits in the first place. Put 10 of those strips, 10 of those tabs into the other 90 tabs. Now you got 100. Now, 35 of those 100 tabs that you have in there are going to be the good ones. So the good ones are going to be keep working, I'm proud of you, but you can draw again though. Because just to clear up that anxious feeling. You pull one out, it says that, hey, you can draw again. You put it back in there. 9 times out of 10 is going to be one that says, keep working, I'm very proud of you. You might get one to 35 that says, hey, you did good today, draw again. You might draw again and get one that says, go party and have fun. Now, see, with that being said, we're going to have is literally healing that instant gratification, and it's also going to let us know that we're moving towards something. On a daily, you should be working anyway. 6 days a week, you should work. You should be taking care of family business, your business, job, work, whatever it is. Growth and development in all formations, all ways. The jar is awesome. That's just the way. Now, I'm about to create this paradigm, this graph, this diagram for you guys. This is the conscious mind. Conscious mind. This is the conscious mind. And this is who we want. This is the final result of the character we want to be. This is the subconscious mind, which means subjective. This is the subjective mind. The conscious mind is the 5 physical faculties, the antennas on our head. Now you have reason, which is the subjective mind, to deny bad choices and bad thoughts. You see, because now these are bad habits over here. These are good habits right here. And this is the final result. Now, once you start to understand this, you start to understand that in order for us to get here, we have to pour out good habits into the final result. Now, naturally, these are going to always follow, because once you start to get to reach new peaks, the paradigm will always revisit you every season. Remember, it says that in a great book. Now, I want you to understand that throughout time, there's that word again, through growth and development, as you continue to pour out more good habits into the final result and start to rid of the bad habits, then the final result is going to be who you truly want to become. That's your physical, because your physical body is the lowest part of you. It all starts off with your mind first. In order for you to have good habits pour into that final result, you have to get emotionally involved, which is your subjective mind, which is the reason, which is the perspective. You have to get angry, you have to get upset, you have to get sad, and falling in love with the final result. You have to understand that you have to get emotionally involved with the subjective mind, so that way it will express itself properly through the instrument that you have been blessed with. The instrument is the body, because the instrument has no choice but to follow what comes out of the subjective mind. Now, when it comes to reason over here with the bad habits, once you start to understand bad habits, you understand that you have reason. You have the ability to say no. If somebody comes up and they spill something into the air, you have a choice to say, I accept that or I deny that. Once you accept it, that means you just got emotionally involved into a bad habit, and that just transitioned over into the final result. We don't want that. We want to have the ability to say no, so that way we can deny that bad thought, get it out of here. You can literally, every time you have a bad thought, you should be like, get out of here. I don't want that. That is not who I am. You should be able to get rid of that bad habit, get emotionally involved with getting rid of that bad habit, and go do a good habit instead, and start to produce that final result that we really want to achieve. Because that final result is going to be that one who gets up here. Because I'm telling you, once you get here, you're going to realize that, holy smokes, I could have been up there. This takes growth and development. It takes growth and development. Now, once we start to reach new peaks, bad habits start to fade away. They start to become obsolete because you start to fall in love with this final result. Once you fall in love with the final result, there's no way in hell you're going back, because that's not how the universe works. We have laws that we have to follow. This right here is never going up there, because you will never achieve anything you want in life by using the existing model. No, you have to create a new model that makes the existing model obsolete. It's literally science. Just like when Yahshua put the baby on the table, he says, if you do not become reborn again like this child, then you're going to lose, buddy. If you do not change your perspective and start to give reason and say yes to these good habits and throw out these bad habits, then you're going to lose. You are going to die. Get rid of the bad habits. You got 5 of them. Let's boil it down to 1. Whatever those habits may be, whether it's women, drugs, food, fast food, doubt, and whatever, you need to boil it down to 1. Once you boil it down to 1, after a while, you're going to see this person start to grow, and then that 1 is going to be out of the box. The jar effect only lasts a few years, a few months to be honest, because it only takes 21 days for you to build a habit in the first place. So once you start to understand that, then everything is going to be great. So please, continue to understand that it is very important for you to change your perspective and change the way you look at every single thing around you. Nobody's out to get you. You're just telling yourself that. Because if you continue to tell yourself that everybody's out to get you, then everybody will come and get you. Stop doing it. You know how powerful you are. You need to start respecting who you are. All right? Now since we know this information, there's plenty more information than where this came from. Now, since we know this information, how are we going to apply that to ourselves? That's up for you to ask. Are you going to apply this information to your everyday life? Because it's not about you just waking up to some magic record deal, or you waking up to them somebody calling you and saying, hey, we decided to fix your car for free for you today because we just thought that we just knew that you. No. That instant gratification to get you forward is not it's practically non-existent, bro. So you just have to sit back and understand that career and life is the 2 things that you have to focus on in order for you to get to where you want to be. You have to respect those baby steps, okay? You have to respect that it takes 1 paintbrush, 1 splice at a time to create that big picture. You probably took your car to the mechanic, told them, hey, I don't got much, this and that. They're not just going to go, okay, well, we'll fix it for free for you. No. We don't want to hinder ourselves by looking for the easy way out, because it's not easy anymore, and it never was and it never will be, because you did not want it to be easy in the first place. Remember what I told you from the beginning. We love challenge. Challenge is who reaches those goals. Challenge is the person who reaches those goals, and who we fall in love with is the person, and the person is you. Remember, it's me versus mirror, MVM. Let's continue to work on ourselves, and let's continue to stay strong. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in today. But this meeting is done. I'm about to get up out of here. I love you guys, and I really thank you guys so much for everything that you've done for yourself. Okay? And understand that you have to respect these laws, the universal laws, Yah's laws, and man's law. You know, as long as man laws isn't interfering with the universe or the Heavenly Father's laws, then you're in good hands. But follow the laws because you don't want just heaviness on your mind. You know, that's why they say get out of debt first before you start buying the fancy cars, because a man in debt is not good. You know, that's not good on your brain and stuff like that. So, with that being said, physical, spiritual, physical, financial, spiritual, physical, mental, fitness. 6IC, I believe in self. My name is Kerry Hankton, and I'll see you guys again next week. See ya.